away on your understanding of God, who God is really like. In Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 3, if this is the only reference that you remember, I have done my job. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 33. Verse 3, 31 verse 3. The Lord has appeared of old to me, saying, yes, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness, I have drawn you. What kind of love does God have for you? Everlasting. We can't get a grip of the concept of forever, can we? We're mortal beings. When we talk about space and these stars being millions of light years away, we just say, yeah. But we just don't understand that kind of concept. And God says, I have an everlasting love that continues on and on and on for you. Compare it with the human love. The person that you connect most in this life, tell me, have they loved you with an everlasting love, or have you been disappointed by them? They've hurt your feelings. Even the best marriage relationship will have problems, and your partner will let you down. Your parents will let you down. I mean, we're human. But God says, no, this love will continue on and on for you. Put your name in there. I have loved, let me find it again. Jeremiah 31 verse 3. Yes, I have loved Michael with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness, I have drawn Michael. That's the part 2 of this verse. His love that God gives to you isn't a forced kind of love. He doesn't stand up here and says, behold, I am God, you shall love me. He could do that, couldn't he? He is God, he's all powerful, and boy, if we saw God in the flesh, we would just fall down in front of him. We would have no other choice because he is so pure, so holy, so loving. But God says, let me display my love to you. I want to draw you to me. I will not force myself onto you. I want to be loved because of what you see in me. In 1 John chapter 4 verse 19, we read about the love. It says, we love him because he first loved us. Have you ever thought that you have been loved right from the womb? There's someone who took a deep interest in you. In fact, we know the Creator God, He knit you together, He formed you, He created you. And because of His love for us, we are able to love Him in return. You know, it's hard to picture God, isn't it? When I say the word God, each one of us visualizes a different thing. You might see this big, huge throne and a rainbow around it and just a bright haze, but it's hard to picture God. And when it's hard to sort of form a picture of God, it's hard to form a picture of how He loves us. And so therefore, God gives us different images, different pictures in the Bible to help us understand the type of love that He has for us. And one of the pictures, I'm going to look at 3 pictures quickly, is the love of a father. In 1 John chapter 3 and verse 1, we read these beautiful verses. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 1. behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed or given to us that we should be called children of God. Therefore, the world does not know us because it did not know him. All of us have fathers. Some are still alive. Some have passed away. Some may have been as if they've never been there. Some have been hurtful to us and haven't been good fathers at all. Most of us have actually problems with our fathers that we have to deal with, because even though some of them may have tried their best, they still didn't do their right job. And what God is saying here is that I am your ultimate Father. I am your true Father. If your earthly father mistreated you in any way, if he was absent from you, if he tried his hardest but still made mistakes, that love that he showed is only a glimpse of the kind of love I can show you. This, to me, is absolutely wonderful. I am blessed that I have a father who loves me. I ring him up every Friday night. And he's German. My dad's German. I'm not sure if you know much about Germans, but they're pretty well straight down the line, and they don't really speak about emotions at all. And I remember growing up, I confronted my father when I think I was around the mid-20s, and I said to him, when I grew up, I didn't feel your love. Now, that really wasn't true, because I was dealing with issues and I was getting angry with my dad, and I was telling him how I was feeling, but I deep down knew that he was trying. But it cleared the air with him, and I became closer to him. But it was just before my mum died, I was reading a book, and in the book it was talking about a man's relationship with his father and how he could say to his dad, "Dad, I love you." And his dad could say, "I love you, son." And I looked at that and I thought, my dad's still alive, but I'm not hearing these things. My dad should tell me he loves me. But he's a German dad. He doesn't know how to speak with his emotions. And God said to me, "Mike, you've got to make the first step." Do you know how hard it was for me when on a phone call with him, I ended it by saying, "Dad, I love you." Wow, that was so hard for me. But the reward. I mean, the first time I said, "Dad, I love you, thanks for ringing." And it was like, love you too, son. But now when we finish our conversation, my dad usually beats me and he says, "Mike, I love you." And I said, "Papa, I love you too." And that is so powerful and healing to me. But I know so many people don't have that. And you're probably looking at me envious and saying, "I wish I had that." Well, you do have that with your Heavenly Father, because all the time he says to you, "Son, daughter, I love you." He can be your Father now. If your earthly father's let you down, he is now your Father, and he will never let you down. Another picture that we have of God is found in Hosea chapter 2. Now, this is one of those small books that's always hard to find, but let me see if I can get it quickly here. Hosea chapter 2, verse 19 and 20. This is God talking. Listen to these words. "I will betroth you to me forever. Yes, I will betroth you to me in righteousness, in justice, in loving kindness and mercy. I will betroth you to me in faithfulness, and you shall know the Lord." There are so many marriages that just don't work out. I remember it was actually in this church, and I was standing there. The carpet was, I think, a different colour, and we had an aisle down the middle, and I was standing there waiting for my wife. She was the woman of my dreams. She still is the woman of my dreams.